I want to give you guys a little bit of data statistics into why you shouldn't just be going to college without a plan. Going to college without a plan is basically planning to fail. And you're going to end up being one of those type of people that went to college and say that you got a useless degree and then you were a scam. So we're going to go through a list of 10 useless degrees that exist out there that I want you all to avoid from getting. I want you guys to avoid from getting. Matter of fact, I just don't want you guys to avoid from getting it. I want you to, anybody that you know who are going to college one day, could be your niece, your nephews, right? Could be your cousins, could be your aunts, uncles, who are choosing to go to college route because it may be something that's been told to them in their family, in your family, to just go to college, right? I want you guys to take this information and say, hey, you know what? If you're going to college, what are you going to college for? Ask those specific questions. What are you going to college for? And they come back and say, one of these top 10 that we're going to go through, or I wouldn't even call them top 10, worst 10 college majors that exist out there, I want you to not physically smack them, but you're going to have to give them a verbal smack that they shouldn't be going to school for these degrees. So let's get into it because it's going to be a quick one, guys. It's going to be a quick one. I wanted to get this video out today because it's an important time for us to make sure that we are telling people the right information and giving people the right information about school. So you guys already know school is very expensive. I'm like the average cost of going to a public school in the United States is about $70,000 today. That's $70,000 today. That's going to a public school in state. If you're going to go to a private institution, that's more like $160,000 a year. So if you think about that, right, it's a major investment for everyone. Public school or private school, you're going to be spending close to $100,000 just to get an education from a four-year institution. And with that being said, the earnings that you are going to be able to, make all comes down to the choices that you make when you go to college. And the earnings, your lifetime earnings, is a result of your major that you're actually going to choose. Just remember that and tell people this as well, too. The lifetime earnings is going to be a result of the job prospects that you have and the job prospects that you get. But it also ultimately comes down to the major that you choose. And not all majors are equal. And some people will tell you that. Some people will tell you that going to school and getting a basket weaving degree is equal to getting a management information systems degree. They say just go to college. You're probably going to be coming out and you're making more money. Maybe that was from the 60s. People are still hanging on to that information. That's not good information. That is wrong information. So, using earnings and employment information, there was a study that was done by Bankrate. And it basically gave a list of 162 college majors that exist out there that are more favorable and allows for people to have a lot of success after graduation, and ones that are performing very bad to where people aren't going to have a lot of success after graduation at all. Therefore, these are the same people that ultimately says college is a scam. You don't want to be on that tail end where people are saying college is a scam, because college is a scam. Ultimately, you made a bad choice. Okay? Let's use the information that exists out there, because this information exists for everybody. And let's not use an excuse and say college is the ones that's actually causing this, because ultimately it's your choice. And the information is out there for everybody. The internet is free. Okay? But there are majors that are at the bottom of this list. And these are the ones that are at the bottom of this list. So I want you guys to remember this and write this information down as well, too. And give me your information on it as well, because I want for this information to go out to a whole bunch of people. More people need to be educated on what not to choose when going to college versus what to choose. Because you still have people still going to school for library science, which is number 10 on this list right here. Okay? Number 10 is library sciences. You're probably like, what is library sciences, Antoine? Well, think about this. The average income for a library science major is about $48,000 a year. The unemployment rate is about 3.3%, which is relatively high because in the United States, the unemployment rate is around 3.5%. Okay. Most library science majors, they go on to become a librarian. But you already know what happened with libraries when COVID happened, right? They all were shut down. They're starting to receive less and less funding, right? The pay is becoming more fewer and fewer because librarians, the role is starting to transition. It's starting to transition. So you're going to need a little bit more skills. But the education behind the librarian hasn't changed at all. And there's a lot of non-traditional jobs options, including market research, that you can become or you do as a librarian. But there are other majors that you can choose if that's where you want to become a librarian. Some librarians can make a whole bunch of money, but that doesn't mean the major of library sciences is the right choice for it. Matter of fact, management information systems is a better major that's going to give you more options to go and become a librarian, as well as a database administrator, as well as an SEO specialist, as well as an information architect, versus doing a major of library sciences. And again, library sciences is not it because it's going to pigeonhole you to do just to become a librarian. You're going to want to have a major that's going to give you multiple options. That's going to allow for you to choose to become a librarian or a database administrator or an SEO specialist and so forth. So at number 10 is that of a librarian. Don't choose it. Librarian sciences. Let me repeat that. At number 10 is that of a library scientist.